Hey everybody, welcome back. Johnny B here with Devslopes.com, and we are continuing working on our awesome game, Legend of Devslopes. Now I know the last video was a little bit dry, but look at this awesome level that we built out. And today, or in this episode, in this video, we are going to continue on, and we are going to start working with our characters. So this should be pretty cool. So let's go ahead and open up our folder with our assets in it. And what we want is right here. And oh, come on. Okay, so we got 4 characters that we're going to be working with. Our hero, the barbarian girl, and then we have 3 orcs. We have a ranger, a soldier, and a tanker. So I think we're going to start out with our hero. And so I'm going to go back into Unity. And I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to call this folder models. Okay, and this is going to contain all of our models. And then I'm going to come back to our folder full of assets, and let's grab in here. So let's come into here, and we want right here, and we want the barbarian girl.fbx. And I'm just going to take this and drag it over to models and let it copy. And then we're going to come back here and we're going to grab our textures, and we want the barbarian girl.tga. I'm going to grab that and drag that into textures. And then that'll take care of our hero, the barbarian girl. I'm just going to refer to her as the hero from now on. And then we're also going to grab our enemies right now as well. So I'm going to open up the Ranger, and we want the FBX. Like Mark went over earlier in the Flappy Bird section, the .fbx is a common file format for models and animations. And so we want the one that says orcranger.anim. And I'm going to grab that and drag that over into models. And the difference between these 3, you could drag them all in, but the Orc Ranger anim is the model that also has the animations built into it. Orc Ranger and Orc Ranger bow are separate model entities. One is just the ranger and one is just the bow. But we're gonna just stick with the one that's animated and has both of them together, all right? And we're also going to grab our textures, and the Orc Ranger comes in a variety of textures in blue, green, red, or yellow. And I think we'll try out the, well, I mean, we can just drag them all in and decide later. So I'm going to grab all of those textures and pull them into textures and let that copy, and then head back. And now let's grab the soldier. And again, we want the Orc Soldier anim. So I'm going to go ahead and drag him into models, and we're going to grab the textures for it. And again, these come in a variety. Let's just stick with the green for the soldier. Going to just drag that in. And then we want also our tanker, and that's going to be orc tanker _ Annie, and drag that into models. And then also grab its textures and drag that into textures. All right, perfect. So now we got our 4 characters, and they are loaded into our assets. So let's take a look at them. So I'm going to open this up and drag this over a little bit here. And I'm going to double click here, and let's check out our hero. I'm going to rename the model to hero. I'm going to rename the Orc Ranger to just Ranger. I'm going to rename the tanker to just Tanker, and rename the soldier to just Soldier. Okay, so let's check these guys out. So our hero, we can look at our model, attributes and everything. The rigging is a generic animation type, but what we're most interested in right now is the animations. So we can go ahead and open this up. and you'll see that first off, we need to add our textures, right? So let's go ahead and close that back up. And so let's, we have a bunch of materials here that have been created for our hero and our ranger, soldier, and tanker. And I'm gonna go ahead and select these and drag them into our materials folder, just to keep things nice and clean and organized. And then we're going to delete this materials folder that was created when we imported our characters. I'm going to delete it. There we go. So now we're back to our base folders and our materials here. All right, so our barbarian girl, we're going to grab the texture, or we can just do it from here using the circle select. And that's going to be barbarian girl. And before I do that, let's go ahead and drag them on here just so you can see the difference as the textures are applied. So I'm going to go and let's drag a hero up here, and I'm going to change her position to 0 in the Y direction so that she's right there on the ground. And so now let's give her some texture. So I'm going to select the barbarian girl and I'm going to select her texture. And there you go. You can see that now she's got some texture. And let's set her shader to the same as our landscape, being mobile and diffuse. And there you go. Now she's looking real good. Let's go ahead and add some texture to her weapons. And that's going to be the, let's see, did we not get her weapon? We might not have gotten her weapon. So let's go ahead and drag that in here. Let's see, textures, weapon. Here we go. So I'm going to drag that here into textures. And that again is the barbarian girl _ weapon.tga. All right, and so now that's good. With the barbarian girl weapon material selected, do the circle select and the barbarian girl weapon. And there you can see that her swords are now also textured and shaded. All right, so that's looking real good. And set the shader type to mobile and diffuse. Cool. All right, so now if we go into our models folder and select, well, you know what, let's finish off the rest of our materials real quick. All right, so we got floor variability, the orc ranger green. For the texture, we can do, let's stick with the orc ranger. Let's go red. I think that'll look cool. And then for the soldier, we stuck with green. And we need to change the shader. I went back to the ranger and to change the shader to mobile and diffuse. Same with the soldier, mobile and diffuse. And for the tanker, select using the circle select for albedo, using orc tanker. And changing the shader to mobile and diffuse. All right, so now we got all of our material set, all of our shaders set. So now let's go ahead and take a look at our models. So our hero has some animations that are preset that are created by our awesome animator that we got these assets from over at bitgem.com. Go check them out, buy some of their assets. They're really good. And so what we can see here is if we press play, it runs through all of her animations that are preset. You know, we're attacking, we're jumping, we're blocking, we're being hit back and forth, we're dying, we're attacking again. And this is all set in this one big clip, you know. And so what we need to do is sort that out into the specific actions that we want to be able to use later on. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this clip and we're going to break it up into those clips. And so usually the artist will have which sections of the frames are for each action, and we have that for this for these characters as well. So you can find those over at BitGem. So I'm just going to search in Google BitGem Barbarian Girl Mini, and this is what pops up. So this is the one we want, I think. Yes, and so you'll see here, this is the company that we were able to use these assets from. And right here in this section right here, we have animations. And so you'll see that these frames are the specific frames for the animations that we want. So for walking, we want frames 2 to 18. For running, 21 to 35, etc. So we are going to go ahead and use this information to extract our actions that we want. Okay, so how we do that is right here under clips. All we got to do is press on the plus button, rename it to what we want, and I think we'll start with idle. Press return, and it's going to say this clip is outside of the range of the source take. That's fine. Go ahead. You can go ahead and press clamp range. And for idle, I have the window open up here on my second monitor. I'm just gonna go ahead and read these to you guys, so you can go ahead and follow along with me, or you can open up the animation window for yourselves in Safari. And so what we want is for idle, we go from frame 38 to 61. And we can check out what that looks like here. 38 to 61, and we're gonna loop it. And let's go ahead and say apply. And see what that looks like. So there we can see that she's just kind of hanging out, but there is some animation, you can tell she's breathing, and so that looks good. All right, so next one we want is walking. So I'm gonna again press the plus button, and walking, or let's just call it walk. Press return, and for walking, let's see here, it is 2, and you can go ahead and press clamp range. And we're going to start on frame 2, and we are going to get to frame 18. Okay, so that looks good. And again, walking, we also want to loop, and we can see what that looks like. Apply, and see what that looks like. So there she is walking. Awesome, looking good. All right, what's up next? So now we want to be able to, we can idle, we can walk. Let's do attack. And so this one is going to be called the double chop. All right, and that is 2 clamp range, and that is 282 to 312. All right, we don't want this one to loop because this is going to be a single attack, and we're going to apply it and see what that looks like. Yeah, cool. So looking good. And it looks like it's looping just because it keeps playing, but when you actually play this animation, it's not going to loop. Just a heads up on that. All right, so let's keep going. We got a next one. This one is going to be our spin attack. And go ahead and press clamp range, and the spin attack is 89 through 124. This one is also not looped. Apply, and let's check out that. Sweet. Man, these are really cool animations. These are great 3D models and everything. This is going to make for a really awesome game. All right, so what's up next? We have idle, walk, attack. Attack number 2. So what happens when we get hit? Let's find one for when we get hurt. All right, and, we're going to clamp range. And I think the one that we want is called hit back. All right, so this one is 384 to 408. and we don't want it to loop, and we apply it. And let's see what that looks like. Boom, just got hit. Looks good. All right. And I think the last one that we need is for the die, for what it looks like when we die. All right, and that we're gonna call die, and it's clamp range. And that one on the site is called knockdown. So that's gonna be 250 to 279. And we're gonna apply and see what that looks like. Dead. All right, looks good. Awesome, awesome. So now we have all of the animation clips that we're gonna need for our hero. And we are going to, we're gonna need to do that for the rest of our characters as well. So let's keep on moving along. Let's go ahead and let's drag our ranger out here and have him be hanging out just to be able to show you guys what they look like. Come here. And we're gonna put them on the ground. 0. Cool. So yeah, there's our hero and one of our enemies hanging out side by side, looking real cool. All right, so let's grab our ranger, and let's get all of his animations as well. Let's go ahead and we can check out what they look like. So the ranger has a crossbow, right? And so he's shooting, he's getting hit, dying, and now there he is running and walking. All right, so we need to extract all of those clips just like we did with the hero. So again, over here in Safari, I'm gonna search bitgem orc ranger. And just like with the hero, we have our animations right here. So I'm just gonna pull this over to my other monitor, and let's get the ones we need. So again, we need, I'm gonna click here on the plus. We need one called idle. And idle is from 194 to 218. I know this is a little bit tedious, but once we get all of this done, then we'll have all of the animations that we're going to need for our characters. So yeah, these first few videos is going to be a lot of setup, but it's some really important and pretty cool stuff, being able to get these animations all set up. All right, so idle, we do want to loop, and we're going to press apply. Then we're going to go to our next one, and that one, we want it to be walk. Press enter, and walk is from 240 to 270, and we also want it to loop. And then press apply, and we can check out what that looks like. So there he is walking, looking all menacing, and that looks good. And then we're going to create our next one, and this is going to be attack. And attack is going to be 0 to 50. And that's not going to loop, and that's going to be attack or apply. And let's see what that looks like. Nice. So there he is, pulls back his crossbow and shoots at us. All right, get rid of that. All right, what's next? We got idle, walk, attack. We need hurt. And that is 173 to 193. And we don't want it to loop. Let's apply. See what it looks like. There we go, looks good. And our last one, die. All right, so there we go. Die is 142 to 172. To 172. All right, and apply. All right, I'm gonna save. Oh man, we haven't even saved this scene yet. All right, this is going to be, we'll just call this level. All right, that was a lot of work to have done without saving. Unity definitely can crash on you. It's a big program, takes up a lot of memory, and so you want to be sure that you are saving often. So that was too long to go without saving. And I'm also going to create a new folder and call it scenes. And I'm going to drag the level that we just saved into scenes. Okay. And then I'm going to save again. All right. What's next? So we've got our ranger and our hero animations all set up. And let's go ahead and work on our soldier next. Again, I'm just going to drag him in here and gonna place him at 0. So he's on the ground. And let's see what he looks like. Let's see if I can zoom in without going too far past him. All right, so he looks pretty cool. He's got a big long sword and a shield. All right, so what are his animations? So again, I'm gonna go to Safari, Bitgem, Orc, Soldier. And here's our guy, and here is our list of animations. So sometimes you're gonna have to do this. Sometimes the FBX models come with all of the animation clips already broken out for you, and that's nice. But with this, we gotta go ahead and do just a little bit of work and extract the clips that we want. It's not a big deal, but yes, it is nice when they're already all taken care of for you. So again, we want idle, and idle is from 125 to 155, 125 to 155. And we do want that one to loop, and let's apply that. All right, and let's make our next one, which is going to be walk. And walk is from 198 to 228. 198 to 228. And walk is also looped. Apply. And what do we need next? We want our attack. So attack, press return. And attack is from 0 to 40. And we don't want that to loop. Apply. And next up we want hurt. And that is going to be from 156 to 176. And hopefully you can see that we are naming our animations all the same thing across our models, and that's on purpose. So we have idle, walk, attack, hurt, and die. And those are named the same because we're going to be using scripts that are common between our enemies, and so that's why we want to make sure that we're thinking ahead here and using common namings for these animations. All right, and so if you've been naming them a little bit different, you might want to reconsider and at least keeping them consistent amongst your models. Okay. And so the last one we need, let me just make sure we got this applied. So that's applied. And the last one we need is die. Return. And die is from 94 to 124. I'm going to press apply. And there we have it. We got our animations for our soldier here. Let's see what just check out what the attack looks like. Nice. Just slicing away. Looks good. All right. Next up, we got our tanker. And this guy is pretty awesome. So I'm going to drag him in here, and there he is. And right off the bat, I'm going to make him a little bit bigger than the others. I'm going to scale him up to 1.5 just to make him look a little bit more menacing. And yeah, look at him. He's pretty cool looking. All All right. All right, so let's check out our tanker down here in the model. And I just want to show you his animations because he's pretty cool. Look at him, he's running, walking, idle, attack. He's got two big hammers that he's gonna smash you with. And there he is dying. All right, so cool. So let's get those same ones that we want. You guys should be used to this by now. We're gonna go find his animations. So orc, tanker, bit gem. I'm gonna select here. And just like the others, here we have our list of animations. So let's get cracking. All right, first up, we want idle. And idle is 56 to 86. And we want that to loop and apply. Then next up we want walk. And walk is 21 to 55. Whoops, not 210. 21 to 55. And walk is also looped. So click that and then press apply. And then the next clip that we want is attack. And attack is 87 through 167. And we don't want it to loop. Press apply. Then we have hurt. And hurt is, we're gonna go with the right hurt. So this one has right hurt and left hurt. We're just gonna pick one. And that's gonna be we're gonna go with the right hurt, which is 192 to 213. 192 to 213. And it's not looped, and press apply to save it. And finally, die. And that is 235 to 265. Whoops, 235 to 265. And press apply. Whew, okay, great. So now, guys, we have our 4 characters. We have them nice and shaded and textured. We have our animations all set up. And so everything is looking pretty sweet. And we're in the next videos, we'll be all ready to use these characters that we've gotten all set up, use the animations. And this is gonna start shaping up to be a pretty cool looking game indeed. All right, so this is Johnny B with Devslopes.com, and we will see you in the next one.